What happens when the world's wealthiest man disguises himself as a homeless person to test society's compassion? The shocking truths he uncovers will challenge everything he thought you knew about kindness and inequality. Elon Musk sat in his luxurious office, gazing out over the Los Angeles skyline, bathed in the afternoon sun. His thoughts weren't on the latest SpaceX launch or Tesla's stock performance. Today was different. He had been scrolling through articles on social inequality and stories of people falling through society's cracks. One headline caught his eye. Do luxury hotels treat everyone equally? It planted a seed of curiosity in his mind. Elon wasn't one to simply wonder about things. He acted on them. When he mentioned his plan to his assistants, they were stunned. One of them asked, "Why?" Elon smiled and replied, "Sometimes the only way to understand the truth is to live it." Then, within days, his transformation began. A discreetly hired makeup artist changed his appearance so drastically that even Elon barely recognized himself. His usual polished look was replaced by disheveled hair, a scruffy beard, and second-hand clothes that smelled faintly of dampness. Dreamily, they answered. He chose a luxurious hotel in Beverly Hills for the experiment, a place known for catering to the rich and famous. Booking a suite under a fake name and paying in advance to avoid complications, he embarked on his mission. As he approached the hotel's towering glass doors, a strange feeling of vulnerability washed over him. For the first time in years, no one would recognize him. He was about to find out if the world's richest man still mattered when he had nothing. The doorman barely glanced at him as he walked toward the entrance. His worn-out sneakers and scruffy clothes were met with indifference, and for a brief moment, the doorman's hand twitched toward his radio. But Elon pressed on, his duffel bag slung over his shoulder. Inside, the contrast was staggering. The lobby was a lavish vision of marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and a delicate floral scent in the air, yet it felt anything but welcoming. Behind the reception desk, a woman straightened up as Elon approached. Her smile was tight, hesitant. "Can I help you?" she asked, doubt in her voice. "Yes, I have a reservation," Elon said, keeping his tone calm and unassuming as he slid the confirmation across the counter. "No, mommy." She studied the document for a moment, then stepped into the back office. Elon could feel the weight of the stares from the guests. When she returned, her smile had only tightened. "Mr. Peterson, your suite is ready." As he followed the bellhop to the elevator, Elon noticed the sidelong glances and murmurs trailing behind him. The judgment was palpable. The suite itself was everything you'd expect from a highest-end hotel. Spacious, modern, and equipped with luxurious amenities. But Elon wasn't there to admire it. He sat down, grabbed a notebook, and began jotting down his first impressions. First contact, hesitation, judgment, reluctance to engage. The next day, dressed in the same unkempt clothes, Elon ventured out. He stopped by the hotel cafe and asked for a table for one. The hostess's smile faltered as she led him to a table in the back, far from the view reserved for more presentable guests. Service was slower, and the waiter seemed to forget his coffee order. As he sipped the lukewarm drink, Elon wrote, "Warmth proportional to perceived wealth," the waitress bringing his food metaphor. Later, he tested the concierge. Overhearing a conversation with a well-dressed couple, the concierge bent over backwards to accommodate them, offering reservations at an exclusive restaurant. When it was Elon's turn, the mood shifted. Yes. Not everyone, however, treated him with disdain. A young housekeeper named Natalie, when delivering towels, was warm and kind. She didn't treat him as an inconvenience or an oddity. She simply saw him as a guest in need. Elon continued to interact with Natalie, each time seeing her respond with kindness, never once faltering in her composure, even when dealing with unpleasant tasks. As his experiment continued, it became clear that most hotel staff, from receptionists to management, treated him coldly based on his appearance. But Natalie stood out. After several days, Elon decided to push the experiment further. He deliberately made a mess in his room, leaving towels on the floor and coffee spilled on the desk. When Natalie came to clean, she didn't flinch. Instead, she rolled up her sleeves and got to work, humming softly as she cleaned. "Sorry about the mess," Elon said. "No trouble at all," she replied, looking at Peniel in his own. "For better, sing softly, I'm spelt on the desk." Word had begun to spread among the staff about the scruffy guest, and Elon overheard whispers about him being some eccentric artist. Still, he remained focused on his observations. By the sixth day, Elon arranged a meeting with the entire staff, pretending it was a hotel-wide announcement. When he walked into the conference room, dressed in his usual sharp attire, every face froze in shock. They all knew him now. Elon smiled faintly. "Good morning, everyone. I wanted to thank you for your hospitality over the past week." The room fell silent. "I wanted to understand how the world treats people who don't fit a certain image," Elon explained. "What I experienced was eye-opening. There were moments when I felt invisible, unwelcome. But there were also moments that restored my faith in humanity. Small gestures of kindness, like those from Natalie lived national fires." He turned to Natalie, who stood there in shock. "You treated me with respect and care, even though you didn't know who I was. That kind of compassion shouldn't go unnoticed." He then announced a donation to improve working conditions at the hotel, including better wages and opportunities for growth. The staff's reaction was mixed. But one thing was certain: the experiment had exposed the biases and hidden kindnesses within the hotel. Finally, Elon turned to Natalie. "For you, I have something special," he said. I want to offer you a position at one of my companies. You have what it takes to lead, and I want to help you reach your full potential." Natalie's eyes widened with disbelief, tears welling up in her eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Musk," she whispered, overwhelmed. In the weeks that followed, the hotel atmosphere changed. Staff members who had once been dismissive began treating every guest with more respect, and the management implemented new training to foster empathy and equity. Elon's experiment had not only exposed the biases of a luxury hotel, but also demonstrated the power of empathy and the transformative impact of small, kind acts. It was a reminder that the way we treat others speaks volumes about who we are, and that kindness, when genuine, can change the world. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who could use a reminder of the power of kindness.